Hey, Bad Christian here again, and we're here for part 2 of the mushroom slurry video. Our brew has been going for about 3.5, almost 4 days, and we're going to go ahead and have a look at what it looks like. So we're going to open up our lid. Now you guys will notice there is the foam that I was talking about. So it'll create a little bit of foam, that's okay. Sometimes they don't make a whole lot of foam. Either way, that's fine. It kind of has that kind of brown reddish tint to it, so that makes me comfortable. That seems really normal when I have had success at this. So we're going to go ahead and go outside, and we're going to put this into buckets and dilute it down, and we're going to go dump it around the yard. One little tip for everybody, go ahead and wash your hose just as soon as you get this thing out, because if you let that dry on that hose, you'll almost never get that thing all the way clean anyway. But yeah, you want to do a little something to try to help you with that. My suggestion is, as soon as you pull it out, clean your stone and clean your hose so you don't ruin it. You don't want any type of mold or anything forming that don't belong there. So yeah, go ahead and do that before you go ahead and dilute your stuff out. That way that's nice and clean and it don't dry up on you. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take another bucket about the same size. If you guys got multiple buckets, it's fine. Lay 10 or 12 buckets out if that's what you got, and fill them all at the same time. But I just got one other bucket, so I'm going to go ahead and just do this one bucket at a time. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to start filling it here. Turn the hose on, and I'm going to get it start filling. And then I'm just going to take this, maybe stir it a little here, and I'm just going to put a little in there. That filled all the way up here. And notice it just kind of has a little bit different look to it. You know, you want it a little cloudy. You want to know something's in there. And even when we get down to the bottoms and stuff, there'll still be stuff in there even without color. All right. Now I got the base of this tree, and there's roots in here. And I just want to get all the roots, get them soaked up in that. Kind of got a little. Notice how it's composty around the tree here a little bit, but yeah. Boom. Now I have, see, notice there's a little bit of the apple wood chip still left in there. And all that stuff's got mycelium in it that's going to make mushrooms grow. So one thing I want to point out, this is actually a really good spot. I've actually already spored here somewhat. You notice I don't really rake these up. And there's this layer of just like good, mulchy, good earth down here in the bottom of this. And so, actually, stuff like that, really great place to put it. Just make sure wherever you're putting this stuff, that it stays moist and that it's not in the sun 8 or 10 hours a day. It's better off if it's in the trees, the mushrooms, and if you know anything about the mushrooms, you know they prefer shady spots. And this is favorable. We're going to put some down in here. Just dump it in there so it goes down in there and really wets the ground real good. Notice how this tree's got roots that are coming out here. This stays nice and moist in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that these roots, they got some of this goodness on them. And they're nice and that, ooh yeah. Don't be afraid to douse it. Let me throw a little up here. This always has that nice leafy compost layer. Oh yeah. We're getting started. Get that relationship with the roots going. And the mycelium and the roots of the tree, they will work together in unison. It's starting to get good now. Hey, Blue. What are you doing, sweetie? Hey. Say hello to everybody. All right, this is one of my, it's kind of like a trash pile, but I don't put actual trash in it. I just put yard trash in there, branches, leftover corn stalk, stuff like that, stuff I don't want to burn. Sometimes you can't burn here because we got burn bans where we're in the mountains and stuff. But this is a good little spot because it's got some chicken manure in there. We've cleaned out the coops a couple of times. It's got some mulch down in there. If you guys have like a mulch pile sitting around your yard, by all means, please inoculate that sucker, especially if it's sitting in the shade. But I got this pretty tree right here. I got this, it's a hemlock. And I know it's not the best tree to grow a mushroom under, but heck, we don't know. We got plenty of this. Let's throw it down because it's got all these roots. And these roots go out and they interact with this compost. So I'm gonna go ahead and douse all this down real good and see if we can't get that symbiotic relationship going on with this tree, this mycelium, and that compost. Now when you get down to the bottom of this bucket, it's gonna have some of that goodness in there. What I like to do right here is I like to basically split them in half. But see how chunky that is? Just know that if anything's gonna grow from anywhere, that's a pretty likely spot the stuff will go from. But right now, I'm just gonna fill both of these up and dilute both of these together, and these will be the last 2 buckets, and that'll make a grand total of 6 buckets off of this batch. We might try some in the cherry here. This is our weeping cherry. The weeping cherry, it's a fruit wood. Maybe it might work. One little thing I want to talk about real quick. A lot of people do they try to build beds for their morel mushrooms, and a lot of people just don't understand how the mycelium works. The truth is that I could dig a bed and build a bed right here in this very spot, and I could inoculate that bed, but that doesn't mean that those mushrooms will come up there. The mycelium gets in the ground and it fruits in the most nutritious, like the most fertile place it can find, the place where everything is perfect. It will focus to that place, and it'll travel 100 feet. So I can inoculate this tree here and get mushrooms over there next to my garden in the spring. It's wherever they decide that they want to come up. I'm not against planting a bed and trying to inoculate it with mushroom spore, but for all you people who have inoculated a bed with mushroom spore and they haven't gotten any, it's been 2-3 years, you might want to go back and kind of search around that and see if that didn't travel out and find somewhere else where it decided it wanted to fruit instead of being in your bed. That's why I don't dig beds. I just go for the relationship with the trees and the ground, and we just soak everything and let it go down in the ground, and if it goes, it goes, and if it don't, it don't. Nice. See, I might even be able to get that. I might be able to rinse it and get one more bucket. How beautiful blueberries. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be able to rinse out and get one more bucket. So I'm gonna go ahead, I still got some of that in there. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna try to rinse all this and catch all this stuff. See that? Alright. And then I'm gonna take that. So I have some in this bucket too. So I'm gonna go here. Shake them up. Get as much of that as you can back. There's still spores in there if I want to keep stretching it, but I'll get one more bucket. So I thought we had 6, everybody, but we're going to get a grand total of 7 out of this. I'm going to try something here because this is where the well house is. Alrighty. That's what we got, everybody. Well, I hope our video's been informative to everybody, and if not, I'm sorry, but we tried our best, and you know, there's no guarantees with this. You might do this, it might work, it might not. It has worked for us, and so I really felt like it was worth sharing with y'all. Thanks, and hope to see you soon.